Male ejaculation. It can be such a charged topic. Do women like it? How to do it for most pleasure, yours and hers. Where to shoot? Inside of her or pull out and aim somewhere else? With a condom or without? What's best for you? And what will she enjoy the most? So much to discuss. So make sure to stick till the end. My name is Helena Nista and I make videos that help you have the best sex of your life, and today we're discussing male ejaculation. First of all, different people, both men and women, can have different attitudes towards the phenomenon of male ejaculation, whether they are the ejaculator or the person on the receiving end of the male ejaculation. And these attitudes can also change throughout their lives. Typically, when we're young, our lack of experience or our limited experience can lead us to have some strong or even extreme approach to this topic. From confusion and uncertainty to disgust or even fear, anxiety or pressure that we put on ourselves that once the penis is hard, the guy absolutely has to release. Fortunately, with age, we tend to relax a lot and adopt a much more open and chilled attitudes towards this topic specifically and the topic of sexuality in general. So let's unpack male ejaculation a bit more just to see what are the truths about it and what are the myths that we need to dispel. A lot of people feel that once the cock becomes hard, the ejaculation is the only way to go. Some men even ask me if it's bad for their health if they don't release during sex. Many people seem to see a hard cock as this sort of a loaded gun that absolutely needs to shoot at some point in the near future. But this whole idea is a myth. Just because he's erect doesn't mean that he needs to come. When he cuddles you and you can feel his hard-on pressing against your body, this should never pressure you to have sex with him. A hard cock that doesn't receive any attention or stimulation will relax, the blood will slowly flow out of it, and he will simply become flaccid again. No harm, no problem, no issue here. If, on the other hand, you feel aroused and keen when you feel his hard cock pressed against your body, by all means rip his clothes off and have fun together. So it's of course impossible to speak for every single lady out there, but in general, yes, women do like it when their man ejaculates. A lot of women see it as a sort of a confirmation that he's still attracted to her and that he has loving feelings towards her. However, a man is capable of coming with a variety of women, which is why prostitution is such a popular profession. So this assumption in itself is faulty, because regardless of how much your partner loves you, he will sometimes struggle to orgasm for a variety of reasons that have nothing to do with you, like stress, fatigue, anxiety, etc. And instead of asking him to drain his balls every time you need him to reassure you of his love for you, it's better to simply have a conversation with him about it. When you're really present with her and when she's really connected to her body and her sensuality, it's possible that your ejaculation can trigger her orgasm. This won't happen for me every single time, but when it does, it's really delicious. When my partner starts to orgasm and ejaculate when he's inside of me, the intensity of the orgasmic energy flowing out of his cock and up through my body can send me into an orgasmic state as well. And it feels truly wonderful. This is something really worth developing in yourself, developing that level of presence, embodiment, and ability to tune in with each other. And if that's something that both of you desire, make sure to check out my online course, Tantric Sex for Couples. It's an exquisite journey for any relationship where the partners want to take their lovemaking to a whole new level of closeness, pleasure, and intimacy. So if it's right for you, I put the link in the description below. When it comes to deciding where to direct your load, this is really a personal preference. If you're trying for a baby, the obvious answer is to release inside of her. If you're trying to avoid pregnancy, then definitely do not come inside of her, unless you're using a condom or any other method of contraception. So what about coming on top of her body, the way you see it in porn? To be honest, if I was a man, I would never want to pull out just before orgasm, unless I absolutely had to. I mean, I do get it that the porn actors do it for the purpose of that money shot. But when you're not actually in that moment actively making a porn movie, why would you want to pull out of the wet, warm, cozy, delicious vagina? If you absolutely desire to do it, then of course you can. But if you're intending to come on top of her, make sure to discuss this with her first and check in if she's okay with that. And if you think that she's going to enjoy having you come on her face, think again. Ladies, the decision to swallow or spit his cum is up to you. If you worry about his sperm being unhygienic or potentially harmful to your body, there's nothing to worry about. As long as he has a reasonably good diet, his cum is actually full of nutrients and quite beneficial for your system. Some even claim that it has mood-lifting qualities, like a natural antidepressant. So if you desire to swallow, feel free to do it and enjoy. However, some women find the taste of the ejaculate quite off-putting or bitter. So if that's your concern, you can choose to spit. It's your mouth and your choice, so don't ever let anybody push you to do something that you're not prepared to do. Using a condom is always an important consideration. The condom protects you in two ways. It helps you avoid pregnancy, and it also creates a barrier against most STDs. There are, of course, other methods of contraception, and a condom isn't the only one. But it is a necessity when you are worried about your sexual health. So if you both are in a monogamous relationship together and you both have been tested and are free from any sexually transmitted diseases and you're not worried about pregnancy, you can skip the condom. However, if you're with a casual lover or you have more than one lover and you don't want to get her pregnant, make sure to use a condom. I guess the last point I want to raise is that for many women, male ejaculation can be associated with the man being selfish in bed. After all, in a huge majority of cases, the heterosexual sex ends with him coming, whether she orgasmed or not. This idea that male ejaculation is a necessary part of sex is so ingrained in us that we almost can't imagine a situation where she orgasms and then rolls over and falls asleep, leaving him horny and unsatisfied. And yet the reverse of the situation is very common. So please, for the love of God, don't be selfish in bed. Make sure to take care of her as well, either before you come or after. Let's start taking the orgasm gap seriously. Heterosexual women need to start orgasming more often in bed with their lovers. And gentlemen, there's a lot you can do if you decide to pull your socks up and address this situation. I hope that you loved this video and that it gave you plenty of food for thought. If you liked it, please give me a like and leave me a comment below. What do you most enjoy about ejaculation, as a man or as a woman? Please also check out my hugely popular online course, Tantric Sex for Couples, if you feel like your relationship is in need of better, more amazing, next level sort of lovemaking. You'll find the link to the course with a very special discount code in the description below. Thank you so much for being here, for watching, and for sharing your comments and insights below. I love reading everything that you write, and I always respond personally. Please take care, have amazing sex and fantastic orgasms. See you next time.